Ready Player One has been highly anticipated for the last several months. It seems like audiences may finally be getting a video game movie. Sort of. That's actually well done. Directed by Hollywood legend Steven Spielberg, Ready Player One is stacked with cultural references and Easter eggs, which is pretty great considering our protagonist Wade's goal is to find the Easter egg hidden by the creator of this virtual world, called Oasis. So to get you hyped about the film, we're counting down our top 10 Easter eggs you missed in Ready Player One. And of course, as with all of our Easter egg videos, there are spoilers in here. So you've been warned. At number 10, Back to the Future. The iconic car from the Back to the Future franchise, the DeLorean, has made many appearances throughout pop culture as a reference to the famous sci-fi film. In Ready Player One, you can spot Parzival driving one, with his name on the car's license plate. The character also gets his hands on an artifact called the Zemeckis Cube, which looks like a regular Rubik's Cube but can turn back time. Its name is a reference to Back to the Future director Robert Zemeckis. Up next, number 9, Star Trek. When Oasis creator James Halliday dies, he spawns the adventure that Wade and many others set out on in search of that master Easter egg that will award them $500 billion and control over Oasis itself. But his death is significant for another reason too. At his funeral, the film makes a big Star Trek reference, his ceremony being similar to Spock's funeral from Wrath of Khan. Up next, number 8, Simon. In 1978, a game called Simon was released. Riffing off of the idea of Simon Says, it was a physical memory electronic game that had 4 different colored panels. A player would touch them in any order of their desire, and the other players playing the game with them would have to mimic the order that they touched. It was initially based off of an Atari arcade game, and it makes an appearance in Ready Player One. You can notice it as an item in Halliday's possession. The character also has a Simon badge on his lapel later on in the film. Up next, number 7, The Final Battle. During the final battle of the film, there's a whole lot of video game characters who make an appearance as player avatars. This includes the like of Link, Zelda, and Ganondorf from The Legend of Zelda, a Big Daddy from BioShock, Mega Man, Bayonetta, Samus Aran in Metroid, who also appears at the Distracted Globe nightclub scene, the Iron Giant, Kratos from God of War, Ellen Ripley and a Xenomorph from the Alien movies, and Hellboy, just to name a few. And literally a few, there's like tons of them in this movie. Up next, number 6, Joust. From recent games to arcade classics, Ready Player One has its fair share of old school video game references, including the likes of 1982 Williams Electronics game Joust. You play as a yellow knight riding a flying ostrich, colliding your jousting lance with your enemies. The game is mentioned in passing by some IOI nerds, and is a reference to the use of Joust in the book. Avatars in Oasis have to play the game Joust in order to win the copper key. Up next, number 5, Getting Spooky. When the news that Ready Player One was getting made for the big screen, one of the earliest Easter eggs revealed was that Freddy Krueger had a cameo. Turns out he's not the only horror icon to be making an appearance in the movie. Jason, Chucky, and even Christine, the evil car from Stephen King's novel of the same name and the 1988 film adaptation, also pop up, with the latter appearing during the race for the first key. Up next, number 4, Screenwriter Shoutout. During that same race, there's a cinema that appears in the background of the scene. The name listed on its front is Jack Slater. Now, if you're familiar with the Arnold Schwarzenegger film Last Action Hero, that name likely rings a bell. It was the name of Arnold's character in it. But the reference goes deeper than just that. The writer of Last Action Hero, Zach Penn, was also the screenwriter who adapted Ready Player One, alongside the book's author Ernest Cline. Last Action Hero was the first theatrical writing credit that Penn ever received. What makes this Easter egg extra awesome is that Penn didn't even know the reference was in there until he saw the film at its first screening. Up next, number 3, The Iron Giant. As we mentioned in an earlier number, the Iron Giant makes an appearance in the film. But the way that he goes down is a reference to another movie, T2, the second Terminator film. The Iron Giant falls down into some lava and gives a thumbs up, referencing the final iconic scene of that movie. And at number 2, The Shining. Stanley Kubrick's iconic adaptation of Stephen King's book is considered by many to be a cinematic masterpiece. Looks like Spielberg feels the same way, but more on that in a sec. In one sequence, the film makes reference to The Shining's Overlook Hotel. The characters enter a theater with the name Overlook, and once they're inside, the setting looks identical to the interior of the Overlook Hotel. For the duration of the sequence, the film is jam-packed with more references to the film, including the elevator scene, the horrifying twins, and room 237, with the naked lady in the bath and Jack's axe protruding through the door. Spielberg was actually friends with Kubrick when the director was alive, and while this sequence never appears in the book, this tribute is definitely a beautiful addition. And finally, in our number 1 spot, Jurassic Park. Despite Spielberg saying that he wouldn't put any Easter eggs to his own films in Ready Player One, guess what makes an appearance? Hell yeah, T-Rex. One of Spielberg's most iconic films is Jurassic Park, and we get a T-Rex chase scene early on in Ready Player One that felt like a brand new take on the memorable scene from the first Jurassic movie. There's also a few other Spielberg Easter eggs sprinkled into the mix, some of which were actually added by his crew behind his back. This includes Gremlins graffiti, he was an exec producer on that one, and the appearance of the book that inspired Spielberg to make Schindler's List. Alright, there we have it, friends. While it isn't a totally comprehensive list of the Easter eggs in this movie, there's like a lot. We do hope you enjoyed the ones that we mentioned. Let us know in those comments comments below what your favorite Easter egg is from the film, especially if it's one we didn't include on this list. If you dug this video, please do us a favor and hit those like and subscribe buttons. If you want more gaming vids, we've got a playlist currently up on your screen right now with a ton, so give it a click. In the meantime, thanks for watching everybody. Catch you all in the next one.